Hello, everybody, and welcome here tonight to Darlington Raceway here in the ARCS iRacing Monday Night Lightning Series as we are getting ready to crown a champion. It's 164 lap race at the mile-and-a-half racetrack. My name is Zach Wetstein. I'm here. Sam Wetstein, how you doing?
Oh, wonderful. Ready to see the Walls get a new paint job at Darlington. Yay.
Yeah, a good chance that everybody leaves here tonight with the Darlington stripe on their right side. It just depends how much of a stripe they have. Whether maybe their fenders are dented in or not is going to be the question. Maybe not even if, but when, really. So there you see your track information, just under a mile and a half, and you see a very oddly shaped racetrack. And I mean, there's not much that hasn't been said about this track. Very, very tough racetrack. You're riding right next to that wall, so that's when you hear us talk about Darlington Stripe. Running so close to the wall, you see that there on track. Those dashed lines, you're usually riding above those. So usually at a racetrack, you'll see at least 3 lanes or so, unless you're at Martinsville, whatever. But at this big of a track, you usually see at least 3 lanes. Here, it feels like there's only half a lane that you can actually run at. So when you're running that close to the wall and come out of the turn, it shrinks. The tunnel onto the back stretch and the front stretch shrink, and that wall comes up.
Yeah, there's 2 lanes. One of them's the wall.
Yeah,
I tried it for the first time tonight and I felt like a pinball.
yeah, and that's what can happen here. Definitely, hit that wall out of either turn 2 or 4, and it can pinball you right to the inside wall. So, not one thing. Not something you want to do. Thankfully, these drivers have at least a quick repair in case that happens. Unlike the real guys, I mean, we saw them hitting the side wall out of turn 2, I think 3 or 4 times in the first 50 laps on Sundays. It happens to the best drivers in the world, or in the world for this style of racing. It's definitely going to happen in a.
Yeah, it's very tricky. The real guys, the NASCAR guys and Xfinity, all those guys make it look a lot more simple, and they have trouble with it. They make it look easier than what I was doing out there. There's a lot of braking action. There's a wholly different line. Um, I believe it's in 1 and 2 where you actually dive down low a little bit, but you go back out to the wall and then run the wall through turn 2. Um, you got to be on your game tonight. You got to pay attention. You can't be petting the cat while you're racing around this track.
Yeah, they're running the 750 horsepower low downforce package, so not a lot helping them tonight in those cars. You're going to see lower spoilers than usual, and that's going to make it a lot tougher at this racetrack than when we had the 550 high downforce last season or last year. So it's going to be tough, and yeah, 1 and 2 is easier to get into. Still, both turns are very hard, but 1 and 2 is easier to get into. It doesn't get as tight, but obviously out of 2, we'll show some onboards. Show some onboards to kind of show you what we're talking about. But yeah, out of turn 2 is when it kind of shrinks and that wall kind of comes at you. 3 and 4 though, at least when I ran here last, it was pretty tight in. So if you overdrive 3, you can drive straight into that wall if you're not careful. Especially
That's
with
what it felt like for me.
this.
They were gridding.
Yeah, I know. We have a little bit of time. We'll pull up the grid. They haven't even started rolling yet. Cody Pinnell grabs the pole spot here tonight with a 28.360. One of our drivers. He's in the lead for the championship right now on points and just have a solid race and hold back Trey Kirk and Jonathan Briault.
Jeremy
Or
Brawl,
Jeremy
yeah.
Briault, sorry. I don't know where.
He's
11th,
11th.
okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's got to hold those two back and secure the points championship tonight, starting off in a good spot to do it. Donald Ray starting this one second. Tom Sear, third position. Alex Simkowski starting this one fourth spot. With Trey Kirk starting this one in fifth. Jonathan Hohenbrink starting sixth position. Daniel Roberts in seventh. With Dustin Painter starting this one in eighth.
Ryan Pinnell running off ninth tonight. Nicholas Pressey starting 10th. Jeremy Baralt running starting position from the 11th spot. It's easy for you to say. Jason Alexander starting 12th. Ken Bellamy starting 13th. Michael Swink rolling off 14th. Terry Gabbard and Elliot Longenecker are race control tonight with Thomas Withers and Samuel Roberts rounding out the field on this last night of the season and championship night.
As we're getting ready for a pretty long race here tonight, 220 miles, 40 laps. First stage, we'll go to lap 80 for the second stage, and 67 laps. Round out the race for stage 3 as pace car pulls off, and we're getting ready to go racing. Green flag is out. Cody Pinnell in the 28. Donald Ray in the 14 on the outside. Going to stay side by side going into one, and this is where the danger lives, is being side by side in these turns.
Yeah, I found very little room for error earlier. If I wasn't hitting the wall, it's getting loose like we've gotten a wreck on the backstretch already.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
And
Caution is out. Trey Kirk, second in points, needs to win basically all the stages tonight and lead the most laps if he wants to lock down a championship, and tough start to do that.
Yeah, he's going to have to use up his last fast.
Oh. More contact. You saw he we go back. He touches the apron, and you can touch the apron a little bit in these turns, but not at that exact spot. It gets you.
No, and the apron is pretty high up here. I mean, it looks like a whole lot of racetrack down there to drive on, but it is not. It is. You get loose down there if you go down that way.
All right. Well, off my spotter real quick.
Yeah, Donald Ray running, starting tonight, running second. Tom Sears, last week's winner. Alex Zemkowski. There's some guys up front. Daniel Roberts, Jonathan Holmbrink. Some guys up front here that can contend for the win. The biggest problem here is passing. It's hard to believe with all that racetrack that there's not a whole lot of room to pass.
Yeah, it's just really tough racetrack all around. It doesn't matter how you look at it. And we also, another thing with Darlington that everyone looks forward to is the throwback paint schemes. Got a lot of those tonight, and we'll start to look through those as we go throughout this race. See the 28 of Cody Pinnell. Nice looking paint scheme. Got the 14 behind him. That's Donald Ray. Got that. I believe it's Battery Interstate's 18 behind them.
I'm going to go with the Bobby.
Or 19.
Scheme on that one.
Yeah.
For Tom Sears. Yeah. Alex Zemkowski rocking the Skull Bandit.
Play when I go ahead.
I was having a mind blank there for a minute with Cody Pinnell and the 28 Haviland. Let's see, now I've got a Davey Allison scheme going on there. I couldn't get it out of my head.
A lot of Cody Pinnell gave me a graphic last week. We headed Darlington with all the throwbacks that we're seeing tonight, and I'm seeing a lot of them. Actually, I'm seeing one of them, but I'm seeing a lot of throwback paint scheme graphics. I'm looking forward to taking a look at all these in action, go throughout this race.
And Trey Kirk did go down, get repairs done, managed to stay on the lead lap. The problem is he's at the tail end. of the lead lap. And he's going to have to work hard, get up there, get back up and contend for. He needs stage wins. He needs the lead laps. So he's going to have to boogie and get up to the front in a hard track to do that at.
Make passes, even if you're faster than tough thing. He's got a tough task ahead of him, and it feels insurmountable for him, but it's possible. Make up some spots early on this restart.
Never count anything out with these guys.
Line back up, side by side, so we're going to go back race on lap 6 of 147. Remember, the first stage in lap 40. Our fuel window tonight is about 45 laps or so they'll be good. The first 2 stages, at least making it through both stages, they'll have to pit at the end of stage 1. Everybody down pit road after that, unless they pit right before the stage ends. Cars off once again. That the Allison paint scheme, and we have Tom Sears spinning his tires. About to say we have a wreck, but he saved it.
It hurt getting back up in line.
Gonna fall all the way back to P7, starting the second row there. We just talked about how tough it is to pass, and so making a mistake like that and putting yourself further back in the pack is not something you want to do. As Donald Ray gets under the wall, he's going down to the inside through 3 and 4.
And that's going to cost him second place.
Going to cost him second. That's Alex Simkowski there in the 99 taking it away. And this is a track where, usually racetracks you can race the person in front of you, kind of the run that you take at somebody, you want to depend on how fast they're going, but you got to depend on the track here tonight on how fast you or how aggressive you are. So you got to race the racetrack at Darlington Raceway.
Yeah, you can be out there and be strong and nobody can touch you, but the track can take it away from you in a moment's notice.
Alex Simkowski.
Bell running strong, though.
A nice job moving himself up to second, but Cody Pennell 1.6 seconds ahead of Alex Simkowski right now. And, well, if Cody can keep leading laps, win the first stage, he can basically, as long as he continues to have a strong night, could lock anybody out from taking the points lead away from him. Go back a little bit further in the pack. Oh, driver in the wall. That's Ryan Pennell. He escapes the wall with a little bit of damage, but doesn't wreck the race car. They are side by side. That's Daniel Robertson. There's Jeremy Brielt in the 74. He's another driver who needs to have basically a perfect race, but also needs a little bit of help from Cody Pennell.
Yeah, if Jeremy Brielt could get up there and run the table and beat Cody by probably 5 or 6 positions at least, but as strong as Cody is running, Jeremy's a strong race car driver. He's fast. He's got a lot of work to do.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter how strong you are if you're starting in the middle of the pack or so. Even if you, say, get up inside the top 5 or the top 3, by the time you get there, one, you've already burnt off your tires pretty well, but you also have been gapped more and more by the leader because we go back to Cody Pennell. He's just living free right now. Nobody around him, no battling, so he's in clean air, just rolling along, and so he's gapping those drivers that are battling more and more each lap. So, if you're Jeremy Brielt and you get through that battling, you make the pass, get inside the top 5 or so, well, then you could already be 5 or 6 seconds behind the leader. Right now, Jeremy Brielt 7.4 seconds behind the leader. So sometimes it just does not matter how fast you are. It depends on your track position as well.
So I'm unsure on it. So I'll ask you, how rough is this track on tires?
Oh, very, very rough. I mean, if you even run 5 laps, a caution comes out. You may not go get tires because you're limited on tires, but you want tires badly. This racetrack, the instant you run any laps on it, those tires are already starting to go away, and I think we're going to see a pretty big fall off here tonight. Right now, Cody Pennell still ran a 28. which is fastest is a 28.65. You're in a 28.99 last time, but everybody else in the 29s already. We're on board here. Cody Pennell, your leader. Promised we'd get an onboard, so we'll give you an onboard through a lap or two here.
These walls just they sneak up on you. Like, oh, there's a wall.
Now with
And
this,
out of the turns where you expect at most racetracks to kind of drift a little bit, you cannot do that here.
yeah, and with this 750 horsepower low downforce, you're going to have to play with the throttle. Just thought I'd let you listen to the throttle there. We'll give you one lap without us talking so you can hear him play with the throttle. As you can tell, a lot less throttle in 3 and 4. That turn is just really tight compared to 1 and 2. 1 and 2, you still have to let off a good amount, but you can hear he's back on the throttle, just playing with it. But in 3 and 4, he's all the way out of the gas for a good amount of time.
Yeah, and he seems to be the class of the field at the moment, coming up on a 3-second lead over Alex Zukowski. 5 seconds over Donald Ray in third. Jeremy Baralt has moved up to 7th, but he is coming up on 10 seconds behind our leader.
I will say, I'll give these drivers credit. After that very early caution, we have gone green that restart. So these drivers have calmed down maybe a little bit and getting into a really nice rhythm here. And that's what you need here.
Just cold tires.
That's what you need here, though. You need to get into a rhythm. They talked about it on Sunday in the NASCAR broadcast on Fox Sports 1 that you really have to get into a rhythm at this racetrack. You know, we talk about rhythm at races, but this is one of the biggest cases of a rhythm racetrack. Because if you're not, and every lap is kind of different, you're always adjusting, and you don't want to be doing that. You kind of want to find the line that you can run consistently, or else it could be pretty tough on your race car and your tires as well. As there's Jeremy Baralt getting past Ryan Pennell, but then he gets loose himself. Survives. Up to the 6th position. 7/10 back from 7/10 back from Jonathan Homebreak in 5th. Jonathan?
No, but Nicholas Pressey started in 10th, has moved up to 4th place. Still 9 seconds back, but impressive run through the field there with Jeremy coming up 5 spots out of 11th up to 6th.
There's the 94 Nicholas Pressey. Mentioned, started this one in 10th, so nice run for him so far because we talked about how tough it is to make passes. Made a good amount of them so far. Caution is out. You know, Robert's a part of this. It's loose and hard contact to the wall. I believe there's more contact. Yep, there is 6 of Thomas Withers collected. Let's just go. I want to go real quick on board. Getting out of turn 4, cranking that wheel to stay out of the wall, and it's loose. Fortunately for Thomas Withers, he did not hold the brake.
And here we go. Tires.
Pit road is busy. Just said tires. Everybody going to come down and get 4 fresh tires?
Well, they do have 6 sets tonight, so we can use one here, use one on the next stage. You're still going to have 4 left for the final stage. So.
Yeah, I have a feeling that we have enough cautions. All of these drivers are going to be out of tire sets by the end of this race. We already have, as you know, at least 2 cautions still left in this race. Stage in. Off of pit road so far.
Yeah, nobody deciding to try the 2-tire option this early.
Oh, absolutely. If you take
Not
2
a good
tires
place for
now, you're in trouble.
I could see Ryan Pinnell and Daniel Roberts stay out, but I do believe they're coming in this time.
Both of them down pit road.
Probably did not want to be part of the. They were in the back, so let's let them pit. We'll come get ours after they're all done.
A tough.
I think they stopped for Tom Sears.
A tough stop for Gerald as well. Once these 2, Daniel Roberts and Ryan Pinnell, cycle through, Jeremy Brelt will be 9th. It was, I believe, 6th for that caution.
Yeah.
Speaking of, Trey Kirk, I think, is up to 6th. So a nice pit stop for him, and he's almost inside the top 5. If he can make some moves on this restart, maybe catch another caution before the stage end and fight for the stage win, he'll still be in it for the.
Yeah, not over.
And I will say, even if he doesn't win the stage, it's technically not impossible for him to win the championship. I won't say that, but it'll be a lot more
A
difficult.
lot tougher. The easy road was to win both stages and win the race.
And lead them.
And lead the most laps.
Cody Pinnell has.
It's hard to do.
Cody Pinnell has other thoughts. He wants to win every stage. Make that points difference between him and second even bigger. Make it look like even more of a dominant championship win. And he has been really good this season. Got off to a great start, but competition caught up with him a bit. He had won, I believe, 3 races in the first 4. Has not won one since. And Trey Kirk and Jeremy Brelt in that time has won 2 apiece. So Trey Kirk and Jeremy Brelt started to get better as the season went and have made this battle for the last race. And Jason Warren and Tom C.
Dustin Painter's up to 5th. I know it says he started 8th in qualifying, but he took a voluntary EOL at the beginning of the race, wanted to start in the back. But he's moved himself up to 5th.
Great run so far for that car for sure. I think he's 5th. Yep, 49 machine. That's another thing. I'll talk about that in a little bit. But let's restart happening.
Time to go get her, boys.
Like, and the 14 of Donald Ray spins the tires, and that's going to collect a lot of drivers. Well, a lot of actually avoided that. Let's see. 14 of Donald Ray spins the tires. Jeremy Brault caught up in that a little bit. Tom Sears. The other was that sidewall.
Pressy.
Oh, Dustin Painter. We just talked about him.
Oh, see, I put the jinx on him. I'm sorry.
Nowhere to go, though. Jeremy Brault, nowhere to go for Dustin Painter. Tom Sears as well. And actually, those drivers right there do have it braking enough to get.
Like Trey Kirk just squeaked through.
And we've seen that multiple times so far tonight. I don't know if it was Donald Ray. I believe it was somebody else. But we've seen multiple drivers spin the tires on the charts now. Just the first time the driver's actually able to save it. Unfortunately, Donald, he's not able to. And, well, look, that moves Trey Kirk up to 4th. And definitely has a lot better of a chance to win the stage. Jeremy Brialt's up to 5th, but a little bit of how that affects him. We'll take a clook. There's a good amount of damage in that car. Hurt him.
Well, I'm imagine that he, man, I'd hate to say, I don't know. You come down and get repairs, but no, you ride it out and see how bad it affects you, or do you just go down, bite the bullet, go down and get repairs done? I know you probably don't take your fast repair, but we're under caution. Go down and see what your optional repairs are at this point, maybe.
If I'm Jeremy Brault, I agree with him staying out only because he has to win all these stages, the race, lead the most laps, and while yes, getting the damage fixed would help him and his handling and his car feel better, but he's in 7th right now, or maybe 6th.
He's probably going to move up.
Yeah, he's up to 6th right now.
Tom's
so he's in
pit road showing in 5th, so he might be restarting 5th here.
No, Trey Kirk's ahead of him. Jeremy Brault. Oh, he's coming down to pit road. I just wouldn't do this if you got to win every stage and win the race, because you're already up to 7th, and that in itself is still a tough battle to get to the lead with. Now going to be less than 15 to go, but now he's going to be starting for the tail end of the top 10, but with a cleaner car. So we'll see if it's the fast repair or is it fixed the hard way. It is a lot of damage, so it probably is a good call, but see how it works out.
That's a flip of the coin there. I think either way there's nothing wrong with either way, but wow.
And he's taking a set of tires.
Yeah.
No, he's getting his damage fixed. Gotta be careful though. Gotta come out of pit road before you get a lapped. Here's.
Yeah, I'm keeping an eye on him to see how this goes. We got pace truck car in turn 4, so I ought to see him leaving here momentarily. He's got pretty much most of it fixed after a 50-second stop, which will keep him on the lead lap. But like you said, it was tough to get up to where he was. And, I think he's pretty much given up on the first stage.
I don't know. That damage looks like multiple minutes worth of at least optional, because that hood is still up pretty far. Still see inside of it from the left and right side.
Okay, I'm not looking at that angle. Oh, I see it now. Yeah.
So that looks like multiple minutes optional. Which, if we're not with 1 to go, which we are, so unfortunately.
Yeah. He's not going to come back down.
Yeah, he could have if we weren't. Lap to go. 28 laps into this one. 40 lap stage. First 2 stages. Second stage will end lap 80, but this one 40. So we're restarting with 12 to go. Cody Pinnell, Alex Simkowski, Pressy, Trey Kirk, Jonathan Holmbrink here, top 5. Actually, Cody Pinnell holds him longer this time. The green flag is back out. Great jump. Cody Pinnell clear for the lead going into 1. Alex Simkowski, a nice jump as well. And Trey Kirk not able to take advantage of the restart, so he still sits 4th behind Nicholas Pressy in the 94, up to 3rd.
Yeah, it must not have been that bad of damage. I saw he was involved in that, but more of a wall scrape, I guess. And I don't think I remember any front end damage coming out of it.
We had a driver hard on the wall. That was Daniel Roberts. That was not just a. I don't think that was a stripe collector. That was more of a smack to the wall.
Trying to knock the wall out of commission, I guess.
Jeremy Brault up to 10th. Started, I believe, 12th or 13th. 14th. Gained 4 spots since the restart, but still 9 spots behind our leader and already 4.6 seconds back with 11 laps to go. Make it 10 this time by. Cody Pinnell already out to a 1.5 second lead over Alex Simkowski. He looks unbeatable so far.
looks like he's got this track down.
It looks like when he looked at the schedule, he said, if I can set myself up well, that track, I'm absolutely going to lock it up there. Looks like he enjoys this racetrack. Obviously, a long way to go, but looks good so far.
He's looking strong early.
Yep. Still over 100 laps left, so a lot can happen in those laps.
When you're that strong early, you have to, when you get that big of a lead, you got to get your mind in the right place, because sometimes you can drift off and make a mistake and that'll ruin your whole day. Not that I've done that or anything.
Trey Kirk still sits in fourth, and he's fallen back 1.4 seconds from Nicholas Pressey. Trying to fend off Ken Bellamy, who has become our biggest mover now in this race. Started this one in 13th, up to the 5th position. So, nice race for Ken so far.
Yeah.
He's catching Trey Kirk right now for 4th, so looks like he has a pretty strong car. Jeremy Brialt has not moved from that 10th spot. Sits behind Tom Sears and Daniel Roberts in front of him, and they're about to go side by side out of the turn. That can end up ugly sometimes, and yeah, you see them. They got single file before they actually got out of turn 2. You're going to be side by side out of a turn. You don't want to be side by side out of a turn anyways, but make it turn 4, not turn 2.
Yeah. And Tom Sears and Jeremy Brault are racing the damaged race car section of our race back here. Tom Sears, that car's got to be hard to hold on to with that damage. Oh, and there goes Jeremy Brault, lost it a little bit to the inside on the back stretch, but he collects it up and gets back in the race.
Go back to 11. Yeah. These drivers in that dirty air, so that just makes this even tougher. See, actually, Tom Sears avoiding the dirty air a little bit by going to the inside, but now he's in it. This racetrack, when you're alone, is tough. Put yourself behind race cars, that makes it even tougher.
You got to wreck on the back stretch.
Thomas
Off the
Withers.
inside wall back up into the, and no caution.
Well, if iRacing cautions were on, that would have been one, but no iRacing cautions tonight, just up to the race control, and since it was a single car wreck and he's able to get going, they're not going to go caution. Which I like that call, because for a wreck like that, I mean, even NASCAR would have called a caution, but that's also because of his motor probably wouldn't be in the car anymore in life, but also that would put a lot of debris on the track, so
Yeah.
I'd agree there, but in iRacing, debris doesn't go flying, at least off of these cars.
What? Sometimes it goes flying, but you run over it and nothing happens. That's a good thing.
That's going to put Thomas Withers a lap down here soon as Cody Pinnell flying in behind him. Still a little bit away, but with all that damage and just how fast Cody Pinnell is, got to imagine Cody will be there in a matter of time.
Hey, we
Thomas
got
Withers.
everybody pretty well spread out here.
Out of the way of the leader. We're coming to one lap to go in this stage. I believe usually they end it after they've completed the fourth. Have one more lap around till the end of stage 1. Cody Pinnell up 4.2 seconds over Alex Simkowski. Absolutely dominant so far tonight through the first stage, and lock it up.
Yeah, he's about to complete the first part of locking things up for the night.
Out of turn 4, and Cody Pinnell doing at least part of what he needs to do tonight to lock up the championship. And I don't know if Elliot Longenecker has fallen asleep, but he has crossed the start-finish line for lap 41. He's usually called it whenever the leader crosses the start-finish line. I only say that in a joking matter because we did talk after a week or two ago said he accidentally, not actually fell asleep, obviously, kind of fell asleep and almost missed the stage end and called it late. So that's why I
Kinda
say that
zoned
there.
out.
Yeah, that's why I say that there. We've seen usually when it's on time, it's right after that leader crosses the start-finish line. But nonetheless, Cody Pinnell wins the stage, and everybody's still going to finish. They were across the start phase.
Hey, this is our last broadcast. We can talk bad about Elliot now, can't we?
He
Elliot's
can't
our
do anything
friend,
to us
people. If you're
now.
watching, Elliot's our friend. We joke with him, so we're gonna make fun of him anytime we can.
Pit stop. Pit stop. Well, round 2 for some people, round 3 for others.
Yeah. Hey, did anybody get their damage? Well, no, it's probably been too long on this track since we had that last caution. Will anybody stay out?
No, absolutely not. That was still what, 10 to 12 laps on those tires. That is more than enough to.
Well, as soon as I started to ask the question, I
You're
knew that I
fine.
was wrong.
You're good. All right, clean pit stops here for everybody, or they're going to attempt to. Cody Pinnell, who obviously has been in the lead, the strongest car, but he needs to try to keep himself there. So does a nice job at getting himself into his pit stall cleanly and out now.
Yeah, you don't want to get beat out on pit road, and then, I mean, even though he is strong, in a place that's hard to pass, anything can happen.
Trey
You
Kirk.
try to keep that lead. Oh,
Quick stop for Trey Kirk. Moves from 4th to 2nd. Wow.
Nice 13.7 seconds compared to Cody Pinnell's 14.4. And Nicholas Pressey, who had made that impressive move up to 3rd, is elected to stay in and get that damage fixed that he picked up on that last wreck.
That's a part of Trey Kirk. He at least gained 1 spot over other people leaving pit road, but obviously this spot over Nicholas Pressey gained from him staying on pit road. It's actually Jeremy Briault. Wonder if he got that damage fixed the hard way, and well, he didn't get it. He may have gotten it fixed as much as it can be, because oh no, there comes the pace truck, so he had to get off. We'll probably see him come around, go down pit road again to get that damage fixed. And the good thing about the next time he comes around, if he does go down to pit road, is he doesn't have to get tires or fuel or anything, so he can immediately start on that damage. And
he's got to remember to turn that stuff off.
yeah, and he took tires on that last one too, so he's used 3 sets compared to some of these drivers that, or most that have used. Cody Pinnell keeps the lead. Trey Kirk up to the 2nd position. Alex Simkowski back to 3rd. Ken Bellamy 4th. And Michael Swink into the top 5 now. Started this one 14th. Drive for him. We're going to see Samuel Roberts in the 15 take the wave around. So basically what Samuel Roberts is hoping for is a quick caution.
So
If we go green through the whole stage for stage 2, he's in trouble.
looking at Jeremy, he's going to go with whatever repairs he's had done. He stayed out on track. I thought maybe he might go down one more time, but he is stayed out on the track.
Lights are off in the pace car, and 1 and 2 on the points are now 1 and 2 on track. Cody Pinnell and Trey Kirk on the front row.
Yeah, Cody Pinnell made it a little easier on himself, getting those 5 points for that stage win. And I believe mathematically, he hasn't locked it up yet. Trey Kirk could still get up here and get it, but he's got a lot of work to do.
Yeah, this is why Cody Pinnell's got to keep himself in the lead and run away from these guys, because if he loses the lead and is back here battling, well, there's always a chance you can be a part of a wreck. And we have a quick repair, but, you know, there's always the chance you blow your motor and you can't come back. And so if he can just keep himself in the lead and out of danger, it's obviously going to be best case scenario. Cody Pinnell, our points leader. But Trey Kirk, I imagine we're going to see some aggressiveness from him here on this restart.
This is going to be fun.
Green flag is out. A good jump for both, but a better jump for Cody Pinnell as he's clear for the lead, and a stack up behind him Not a great jump for the outside line behind Trey. Top 5, stay the top 5, but here comes Jonathan Holmbrink as he passes Michael Swink for the 5th position there in the 20, and then he wrecks it on the backstretch.
Oh,
He locks the tires up, so luckily for everybody that were right on his outside as he hit that wall, he did not ping-pong off of that wall. He held the brakes, and a lot of damage to that car and no caution.
and we've got a wreck on the
Oh,
front stretch.
Jeremy Brialt, caution is
Oh,
out.
man.
And that caution that Samuel Roberts wanted happened. I talked about how Samuel Roberts in the 15, who was taking the wave around, needed early caution, that he could come down and get tires and fuel on the lead lap, and it happens. We're going to now...
Hey, by God, somebody did stay out. All right.
back, and well, he stayed out because he had to get a back.
Yeah.
All right,
But
let's
hey,
see what happened
I'll
here.
take a win whenever I get
Tom Sears almost gets in the wall, and Jeremy Brialt does get in the wall. Go on board with. See.
Did you make contact with Tom?
No, I don't. No.
Oh, yeah, he did.
Well,
A
he
little bit.
did as Jeremy already hit the wall.
Yeah. When he
So,
bounced off the wall.
Yeah, right. So, man, Jeremy Brialt, just a tough race tonight. And, well, he's for sure going to use that quick repair now.
I would think so.
Look at the back of that car all messed up.
That's a rough night for him. He's a strong driver, third in the points. Almost missed pit road.
Surprised we didn't see.
Not sure. He turned in after the
Oh,
commitment
well.
cone. That might be a penalty, too.
Amy Roberts did not go down pit road. Can you check when he pit last? Because I mean, if you're the wave around car, you can't pit. So, surprised we didn't see him go down
28
pit road.
laps ago.
Huh.
Yeah. There's no reason to save.
Maybe see him come down next time. We'll see.
Cost him. I mean, he was already tail end, but he's running 10th on my ticker at the moment. So
He's 10th right now. Goes down.
and
Next time.
Jeremy did use his quick repair.
See if Samuel goes down this time around. If not, then I think it's final that he's not going to go down, but
Yeah.
not going to be able to make it on fuel this entire stage unless cautions. Tires are at a premium right now, and he needs some.
He's not going to.
All right.
I don't know. We'll see how that works out for us.
See how many times he's pit?
I cannot, but I do know it was 28 laps ago.
Oh, we're now 50 laps into
did.
this one.
We didn't pit at stage end, so
Oh, because he ran. Yeah, I'm not sure.
I don't know. I believe he was caught up in that wreck with Thomas Withers earlier, so he might have pit twice. But I mean, there's 6 sets of tires in there, and your 28 lap old tires, 29 now, coming up on 30. Tires.
Set to go back racing in a lap and a half or so. Cody Pennell still your race leader. Well, every lap that he leads, whether it's under caution or under flag, adding to that total that he's led. And if he leads all the way to the end of stage 2, well, he'll win stage 2 and not only do that, but lock up the most laps led.
Yeah.
Kill 2 birds with 1 stone there.
I'm of 2 minds. If I'm Cody Pennell, maybe he's just strong enough that he doesn't care the caution came out, or it kind of bothered him and he didn't want it. But I know Trey Kirk was like, okay, I take another restart.
Yeah, I mean, if you're the leader and you know you're strong enough to run away, you absolutely not want a caution. At least that you know is not scheduled. You know,
Yeah.
because he's prepared for at least cautions, but any caution that happens due to a wreck, when you know you can run away from these guys, you do not want, because, well, you may ask, well, he's strong enough to run away, why can't he just do it again? Well, you never know I mean, we've seen people spin their tires on these. Anything can happen on a restart, so if you can just stay green and continue to run away from them, all you got to worry about is yourself and maybe some occasional lap traffic, but lap traffic, tracks like these don't come as quickly at a short track.
And let's do it again.
And Trey Kirk get a better jump this time to try to take the lead away. Cody Pennell do what he's done so far and have a good jump and keep the lead, and that's exactly what he's going to do. And Alex Simkowski now battling for the second position with Trey Kirk. And, oh, we have a lot of racing going on. They were 3 wide. Not a good jump there in the back of the field on the outside line. And, oh, the 94 and the 74 get close, but they don't make contact. That's Nicholas Pressey and Jeremy Baralt. A lot of close racing there on that restart.
A lot of tracks we say you don't want to go 3 wide, but you definitely don't want to do that here.
Do not want to go 3 wide.
You barely want to go 2 wide here.
Yeah, really. You want to be single file as much as possible. Alex Simkowski all over the back bumper of Trey Kirk right now, if he's able to successfully make a pass. I mean, we always talk about at other tracks, it's one thing to get to somebody, another to pass them. That is multiplied by 10 here. You talk about, oh, it's okay. It's good if you can get to the back bumper of somebody, but how are you going to pass them? Pretty tough. Trey Kirk holding on to that second. Oh, and the wrecking behind him. Nicholas Pressey, Ken Bellamy a part of it, and oh, big contact from Samuel Roberts.
I'll bet he pits now.
Oh, yeah. All right, let's find out what happened here. Oh, man, of the 94 contact. Ken Bellamy sends him around and nowhere to go for Roberts. Contact between
Donald Ray gets involved.
Contact between Nicholas Pressey and Ken Bellamy starting that one. And, oh, that car is skewed. Look at that thing.
Oh, my Lord.
That thing
He's driving side.
Good Lord.
Remember the old crab walk cars? That's a whole lot different.
Go on board here. That wheel's cranked all the way to the left, driving straight. Not how you want your car handling.
Ooh.
Imagine we won't see pit stops. Very quick cautions. Well, pit stops for just tires and fuel. I imagine, obviously, pit stops for the damaged cars.
Yeah, 24 laps left on this stage. 21 probably by the time we get going green.
About.
I think maybe with another caution, I don't think anybody would pit either. Probably be too close to stage end.
I mean, if we restart with 21 to go and we run 10 laps, absolutely. Even if you'll restart with 6 or 7 laps to go, that is more than enough time on fresh tires to pass the old tires.
Yeah. Well.
Even if we run far enough into the stage to where we'd have 2 laps left in the stage, I'd still go down pit road. Like I said, you even after running 2 or 3 laps, that your tires already start to wear off again. It's because of how rough this racetrack is. Now, I'm not saying, if we run 2 or 3 laps and then get another caution, I'm not saying they should pit.
Right.
But, yeah, if we run 10 laps and then get another caution or 12, 13, whatever it is, if we get another caution before the stage end, as long as it's not a very quick caution, I'm coming down. Because maybe if you're at a short track and you got 2 laps to go, that's just not enough time. But you're at a 1.5 miles or just under a 1.5 miles here. still a pretty big track and enough time for somebody with 5 or 6 laps left on fresher tires to pick up a lot of time on you.
I wonder if that's a case where leader stays out, everybody goes. Leader goes, everybody stays out.
Yeah, yeah, that could be a tough situation, but if I'm the leader in that situation, I'm gonna make them stay out. Yeah, we'll see how it shakes out though. Hopefully, we just don't have any caution in stage 2.
Yeah, it'd be nice to take it out here, and Trey Kirk's like, okay, I get another shot at this guy, but the way Cody Pennell's been getting these restarts, I think you'd have to hook a chain to him to stay with him.
Man, I'm scared for these drivers. I mean, even if you do beat him on the restart, can you stay ahead of him?
Yeah.
How quick he's been. Obviously, he hasn't been in traffic yet, but still, I mean, that car, with how fast he pulls away, I mean, we see him have a 1.5-second lead by 3 laps into the stage, it seems like. So,
He's
or
very
at least under green. So, yeah, even if he's behind somebody, I don't. So, man, still, anyone could win. A lot could happen, but Cody Pennell is scary fast tonight.
All right, Cody, give us a couple of laps where somebody gets ahead of you. See how strong you are in traffic.
Give him an
I
EOL.
don't think he wants to do that, do you?
No, absolutely not. I think he'd be okay with.
I'd rather lead them all, Sam.
Yeah, I think I'd just rather lead all the laps and win the race easy. All right, well, we're going to find out if he's going to lead every lap, or at least lead every lap up until next one. See how good of a jump he gets again. Better jump for Trey Kirk to stay out ahead of Alex Simkowski, but not good enough to pass Cody Pennell, and maybe not even good enough to stay. Yep, he stays ahead of Alex Simkowski. They race behind him. Jeremy Brault up to the 7th spot. You just see, look at that. I mean, it looks like it's kind of uphill out of the turn there, out of turn 2. Maybe that's why it's such an abrupt change for them trying to stay off that wall out of turn 2. Speaking of staying out of the wall, I think Tom Sears maybe touched the wall out of turn 4 a little bit.
There are some transitions here in turns. If you hit them in the wrong space, can get you out of shape, or at least from what I felt earlier. It's that wall coming out of the turns, though, that just it's there quicker than any other racetrack. That wall comes up and greets you.
Yeah, and out of turn 4, if you go on board next time around, a lot of tracks, if you're running the top line, you come out of the turn, the wall is rounded out so that you can just stay next to it and follow it down to the front stretch. But here, if we watch, and obviously it sticks out there out of 2, but here, if we watch on board out of turn 4, you follow the wall out of the turn, but then it sticks out a little bit right there.
Oh, yeah, it does.
So you can't really just follow it around. You got to stay. That's why you see some guys get loose out of the turn. You got to keep that wheel cranked to the left to stay out of the wall when you come out of the turn. Especially out of 2. It's magnified out of 2.
I think the guy that built this racetrack said, okay, challenge accepted.
Let me make the toughest racetrack on the circuit. Interesting is, I mean, if you looked at the, put up the track map, and you look at the shape of the track, turn 4, this track was supposed to look a little bit more symmetrical than it is, but turn 4, they had to actually bring in a little bit, because I believe of a farmer there, and they were on his land, and he told them, no, you can't build your racetrack on my land, so they actually had to shrink turn 4 a little bit and bring it in. Why it's a little less symmetrical than it could have been, which creates for even more of a tough racetrack.
Yeah, a lot of racetracks you have differences in between 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, but they're kind of close. This one's not. Just to put it simply.
I've already seen there, if you look at the track map, gap that Cody Pennell's starting to put on Trey Kirk in second, already 3 seconds ahead of him. Starting to catch that 6 of Thomas Withers. And it looks like a lot of racing going on back here. It's Tom Sears on the back bumper of Ryan Pinnell. That's for P6. And P2, Trey Kirk down the backstretch wrecking. And, man, that might bring out a caution. He is down off of the race surface, at least the main race surface, the main racing line. So they will not bring out the caution. Let's go back and look at what happened.
Oh, it's got to be a big disappointment for him. Oh,
he checks up. Nowhere to go for Alex Simkowski. Checks up right there, and Alex Simkowski, who didn't have to check up, obviously. Think he was going to check up there?
Get around him.
Tough for that 24 as no caution comes out.
Yeah, that's a big disappointment for his night. And Jeremy Brault snuck up in the 3rd spot.
I will.
Well, at least with Trey Kirk's damage, he's still able to keep going. That wreck could have very easily taken out his motor, taken out his drive line, but he is still running around the track. So, unfortunately, he's 13th. Okay.
All right, let's go back to Cody Pinnell here real quick. Now 4.5 seconds ahead of Alex Simkowski in 2nd. This is what we're talking about. I mean, he just pulls away, and there's nothing anybody else can do right now.
No, the rest of the field's thinking, well, if Cody could blow a motor or something, maybe the rest of us would have a chance. But the way he's running, he just seems to enjoy this track. He's got the line. He knows where, he knows where to go. He knows where to brake, and it's his night so far. And I'm going to go ahead and say that he's locked up the most laps because we're almost halfway. Oh God, I'd say that, didn't I?
I thought I would out. We're on lap 71 right now. Once we get to lap 74, that'll lock up the bonus points for Cody Pinnell for most laps led in the race. Got to get there first, obviously, but we can get there with him in the lead, which it looks like we will right now. He'll lock up those bonus points, and then 6 laps later, he'll have a chance to lock up the 5 bonus points for winning stage 2.
That's some big racing going on back here with Tom Sears, Ken Bellamy, Nicholas Pressey, Jonathan Holmbrink got around him.
Oh, and he hits the wall.
Oh.
That's going to make him fall back all the way to 9th now, and a good amount of damage to that right side. That might cost him even more. We'll see.
Right there is an example of one little mistake and how much it can cost you.
Tom Sears and Ken Bellamy side by side right now. Ken Bellamy a strong move up to 6th. Now up 7 spots from the start of this race. Michael Swink, he battled back up to 4th. He started this one 14th, our biggest mover so far. Jeremy Brault up to 3rd, actually battling for 2nd right now. Which is great, but it's unfortunate for him that Cody Pinnell has now just locked up. Oh, and he hits the wall as well. That's bad news as well.
Ooh.
Cody Pinnell, crossing the start-finish line, has now and will, no matter what happens, lead the most laps in the race. Lock that up, and like I mentioned, 6 laps will lock up the second stage. So Jeremy Brault, a better run now, up to third, but just not good enough right now for the championship.
So we were focused on the battle for second, which was really close between Trey Kirk and Jeremy Brault. Right now, Jeremy Brault holds that advantage. But the way that both of those guys are bouncing off the wall, it could be either one of them before the end of the night.
Yeah, Trey Kirk 6 points ahead of Jeremy Brault in the point. 10 spots behind him on track, so right, that would put Jeremy Brault in the second spot in point. Ended now. Have any more battling going on? There's cars here together. It's Tom Sear, Bressy, Jonathan Holmbrink, who done a nice job at staying in ninth, but I don't know how long it'll last with that much damage. Here comes the 14 of Donald Ray in that 14 machine.
Oh, the 94 big dive on Tom Sears. Can he hold it? Yeah. That was a great move, but hadn't gained anything yet.
They side by side down the front stretch and dive down to the bottom, but it's not enough. Let's find it. Look at talking about it. Let's see how he dives into the turn. Oh man, he really did. He just sent it there.
Oh, he powered it in there.
But not enough, unfortunately. He was hoping it would be, but it just wasn't. And well, that outside line got a better run off.
Yeah, just by the nose of Tom Sears' car.
Battle continues on, and oh, wow, that 94 got loose. Scrapes the wall. Luckily, nothing worse than just a little scrape, but it does stop that battle for 7th. Cody Pinnell with an 8.5 second lead over Alex Simkowski. A lap and a half to go in this one, in this stage. Caution that'll come in a lap and a half will be the last scheduled caution. And we on about 60 laps to the end of the run. Well, 64 or so laps to the end.
Well, Cody could go park it in the pits and still win the championship. So
he just had the 53 in front of him. That's Jason Alexander Blank. And that was scary. Gotta imagine as we're on lap 80 here. Once he hit, the caution will fly. And oh, a wreck in front of him. I heard someone wrecking. Here's Trey Kirk. He doesn't want to go a lap down. He's gonna go a lap down. I think it was Trey Kirk who wrecked. Trey Kirk is now a lap down.
Oh, yeah.
He's already used his quicker, right?
I believe he did.
A lot of damage.
Stage is over. Looks like he overbraked a little bit coming into 3.
Yep, stage is
Got
over.
him out of shape, and
Cody Pinnell has now won stage 1 and 2 and has led the most laps no matter what happens from here on out. So Cody Pinnell needed to just come into the race and stop Jeremy Brault and Trey Kirk from winning the stage. And, well, how's he done that? He's just won him himself.
that wasn't overbraking. That was his motor going. Trey Kirk is coasting down the front stretch.
And he's not going to be able to make it back with him being on the front stretch. Must have happened after he was able to get down to pit road, because assume gotten down if it happened before pit road.
It looked like it happened going into 3, and it did look like he made an attempt to get down the pit road, but was going to hit the wall and decided not to. I think he knew where he was at in front of the leader and just wanted to keep it out of the way.
Tough night for Trey Kirk. I mean, it's a tough ask to have a perfect race at Darlington, well, like Cody Pinnell's having right now. But absolutely not the way Trey Kirk thought this race would go. At least thought, you know, he'd be in, and I thought he'd at least be top 5, top 3 throughout this race. Was there for a little while, but unfortunately not gone.
Just a tough night for him. And those happen, and unfortunately, sometimes they happen in the worst possible times.
Yeah, and I want to talk about another thing they talked about in the NASCAR broadcast was you can have a good race here and still win the race. I mean, Martin Truex Jr. was the first ever driver within the stage racing era to ever win a stage and win the race. No driver ever before had won a single stage and the race itself. So that just shows it doesn't matter how good of a race you have if you can't finish it off. And that, I mean, that goes the same for Cody Pennell. I'm not saying he will wreck or he won't win or whatever, but just because you win the first 2 stages doesn't necessarily that you'll win the race. And so that's just how tough this place is. I mean, it could either go, the whole race can go south for you, or just one specific part of the race. Which,
one little mistake, and
yep.
he finishes 20th.
And
No, maybe not 20th, but
one thing we're going to need to look at now in this stage 3, we can stay green. Pit is green flag pit stops. This is one of, if not the toughest places to get down to pit road, because there's a lot of apron here and not a lot of grip on that apron. So, I mean, you see how much track is below those dashed lines. You got to get down there and slow down, and that pit entrance sneaks up on you.
yeah, that's it looks like great racetrack, yeah, but it's not. I don't know what it is about being down there, but it will upset your car even while you're slowing down. You don't have to be going very fast to get upset down there.
Also, it's just
they call it track too tough to tame, right?
Yeah, and also it's just a really tight turn to get down to pit road. I actually want to go on board with the driver when we get into show how far pit road is down the track. It's just so
a small
tough.
entrance too, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Kind of almost a weird angle, I think.
Oh, absolutely. That was true. We have a couple of drivers down pit. Thomas Wood, Jonathan Holmbrink. He, if you remember, he hit the wall pretty hard. So down there, imagine he's actually going to go a lap down. Once again, a reminder, if you've joined us late in the broadcast, we're here tonight crowning a champion of the ARCS Monday Night Lightning, and Cody Pennell, in a good position to do it, has won the first 2 stages and has locked up the most laps led, because he's led every single lap till the, up until now, the lap you're seeing. So we'll see if he keeps the lead on this restart, but that's 15 bonus points he's locked up there. And he already had a 19-point lead over Trey Kirk, who is now done, I imagine, 14th down pit road with a blown motor. So Cody Pennell, when he's needed, performed the most. Done it here so far. And look at this, real quick before they go back racing. Look how tight that turn is down to pit road. Just watch how the truck gets down there. That's going like 60 miles per hour, not 100 plus. So. Green flag is back out, the start of stage 3. No more planned cautions now, and see how long we can stay green through the stage. Cool to see some green flag pit stops. Maybe not for them, but for us, I would love to see.
For us, it'd be awesome. I'm kind of sitting here cheering for them. I'm like, green flag, come on, green flag pit stop.
Right.
So, if you're thinking green flag pit stops with 62 to go, you're going to split it in half, you're going to run out your fuel. What are you thinking here?
Well, I'm going to go with kind of my usual thinking is, 1, make sure that you have enough fuel if you have to have multiple green-white checkers. Now, you may not, but it's better to prepare for multiple green-white checkers than not prepare and then have them. So, 1, I'm making sure that I can pit on a lap that will give me the option. You'll have enough fuel left if you have a multiple green-white checkered. So with about 57 laps to go, or no, sorry, 59 laps to go. I'm thinking
maybe 35 to go.
35 to go. But it also depends on your competitors. Oh, is there a wrecking in the backstretch? Actually, 2 cars. And, he tried to catch it, but he could not. That was, was it Jeremy Brault? I thought it was. Oh, and he's wrecking more.
The 20.
Wow.
And the 6 in the tail there. So.
Well, Jeremy Brault, it was a blue car. I saw it.
So. Okay.
He spun around on the backstretch, but he did save it, I guess, as best as he could. No damage on the car from that wreck, and he sits 11th right now. No caution there. Racing for fifth, Daniel Roberts and Nicholas Pressey. That's Daniel Roberts in 30-94 of Nicholas Pressey loses that battle, and we've seen that. That outside line definitely has the better run out of the turn when you're side by side. Ken Bellamy.
Big story of the night. Cody Pennell. If this would have went green, he'd have lapped the field.
Ken Bellamy up to the 3rd position. Started this one at 13th, your biggest bar. Trying to race. Or no, not trying to race. 2nd and a half back from Alex Sinkowski. He's actually holding off Donald Ray right now.
Donald Ray's started second. He's had some issues tonight. Got caught up in some some wrecks and stuff. Moved back up to 4th place. He's put on a pretty good race himself.
Yeah, he spun his tires early on and actually wrecked. And, well, that's one way to learn from your mistakes is spin your tires, you wreck. Well, now you know. Just don't stop on that gas pedal next time. He's done a nice job at it. We actually have a couple cars, Jeremy Brialt and Thomas Withers down pit road. Jeremy Brialt, your 3rd place driver coming in, or 3rd in points coming into tonight. Also looks like he's knocked out. And, well, they probably already are. Even if they were running inside the top 5, would be knocked out of the points battle. But more importantly,
racing for 2nd place.
Not more. Yeah, I was about to say not more importantly than the championship, but still importantly, racing for 2nd in points. And right now, I believe actually made high. Or no. Trey Kirk was up 6 for.
Yeah.
Right now, Trey Kirk would keep 2nd in. Does not back out from pits. We'll see if he does.
And like I said earlier, Trey Kirk used his quick repair, and on that blown motor, he's going to have a lot of repairs. He is sticking it out on pit road to see if he can get back out on the track and make a couple of laps. You never know what happens with Jeremy Brault. Maybe he can get a lap or two, gain a spot, and keep that 2nd position in the season championship.
I want to give a driver real quick that we haven't talked about too much tonight. Alex Sinkowski's credit because we've sat here and talked about Cody Pennell, who's been absolutely dominant, and he's earned that kind of talk because he has been dominant. We talked about Ken Bellamy, who's had a nice race starting from 13th, but Alex Sinkowski started this one 4th and has ran 2nd for a long time tonight behind Cody Pennell, and it's just unfortunate for him that Cody is so fast, but he's been really consistent tonight, has been racing the racetrack, not a lot of damage on that right side, if any at all, and has been running a really nice 2nd place race.
Yeah, he's, if he, well, hell, he's only 4 seconds back. He's probably closer than where everybody else has been.
Well, he unfortunately was 8.5 seconds back at the end of stage 2, so I don't think anyone has what I don't think anyone has what Cody Pennell has tonight.
He's run a good race. He's been quiet about it. Got his pit stops off good and stayed out of the mess, and he's in 2nd. Cody Pennell makes a mistake. Sinkowski's there to jump on it. So this track can bite you at any time. So it's not over till it's over.
Yeah, Cody at this point just has to take it easy. 50 laps to go. Still a long time left in this race, and still a green flag pit stop if we stay green. So, yeah, even if you don't hit the wall, if Cody Pennell makes a mistake on pit road, we stay green all the way till the end, that ends his hopes for winning this race. So, yeah, Alex Sinkowski, even if you can't win it from speed, execute on pit road, and if Cody slips up, they're on pit road or on track, you're right there to pounce.
Yeah, just because you haven't led a lap doesn't mean anything if you lead the last one.
Yep, well, that's all you got to do. Let's go the field real quick while everyone's just running on track right now. Cody Pennell led every single lap so far and about to lead 100th lap soon. Sits 4.8 seconds back over, talked about Alex Sinkowski and that nice 99 skull paint scheme. Ken Bellamy sitting in 3rd right now, but Donald Ray all over his back bumper right now, but still sits inside that top 3 after starting this one in the 13th position. Donald Ray started this one in 2nd, and like you mentioned, had a tough start to the race, but has bounced back up to 4th. And, oh, the 37 gets to the wall in front of him, and all of a sudden, just like that, up to 3rd.
Yep. Guy makes a mistake, you're there to take advantage of it.
Daniel Roberts now moves up into the 4th position. Nicholas Pressey going to take that 5th spot away from Ken Bellamy. Just like that, Ken Bellamy's 3rd, now he's 6th. But, yeah, Nicholas Pressey, he's had an up-and-down night, sitting in now the top 5. Ken Bellamy, saw him hit the wall. He's going to hit the wall again at the same turn that he did last time. Now back to, so, and
Maybe
tough
he
for
saw
him.
Piece of paint on the car that he missed the last time.
Ryan Pinnell is up to 7th. Started this one in 9th. And another driver who's had a pretty consistent night from what I've saw. So a nice 7th place run for him. Tom Sears started this one in 3rd position. Had a kind of a tough night, but still sitting inside the top 10. Tom Sears 8th right now, even with all that damage. Dustin Painter sitting right now in the 9th position at 49 machine. Michael Swink rounds out your top 10, and that 18. He's also a driver who's kind of had up and down night. He's seen the top 3 or the top 5, and he's also been outside the top 10, but right now he does sit in that 10th position. Jonathan Hohenbrink, last car on track on the lead lap, or the last car on the lead lap. All.
And, yeah, the last car on track, too.
Yep.
Everybody else is in the pits.
Jeremy Braut has not come out from pits.
No, he's been there getting damage fixed for a while. That wreck must have really, it might have took his motor. He does have, Trey Kirk is still getting repairs done, or he has retired. Yep, his clock is stopped. He has retired. Jeremy Brault sitting in the pits still does have an 11-lap lead. Trey Kirk, so he can sit in the pits and still finish 2nd in the championship.
Bellamy's down the pit road now. And, well, we have 43 laps to go, so this is within the window. Maybe he's thinking, if he does have a fast repair left, he's thinking, well, I have a bunch of damage, might as well go use my fast repair, and we're within the fuel window.
Yeah, it can't hurt.
See if that car resets to new, or if he's out of luck.
We run this green, though, that he's going to be screaming for tires at the end of the run.
It's past his. Oh, he did. Oh. On the very edge of his pit stop.
Look like it, doesn't it?
And he does not get a new car. Out of quick repairs. But still, he's like, okay, I'm in the fuel window. Why not come down to pit road? He's first to do so, but the only to do so as of now. Go a lap. As Cody Pinnell has moved his lead up to 7.5 seconds over Alex Simkowski. Alex Simkowski sitting at a nice 4 seconds ahead of Donald Ray in 2nd. So on a island of his own as well. It may not be the lead, but he's still on an island by himself. Well, other than the 37 on fresh tires, his island has a visitor. But not for long, as those fresh tires will rocket that 37 ahead.
If he can catch and get by Cody Pinnell, and then that'll put him 1 lap down, and the lucky dog is the only car on track a lap down. Should we get another caution? He's still, with it being a lucky dog, you can still pit. So maybe it's not going to turn out too bad for him, I don't think. But even on fresh tires, can he catch and pass Cody Pinnell?
You'd have to imagine so.
He is a ways back.
We have a battle right now for the 4th position Daniel Roberts and Nicholas Pressey. I feel like this battle's been going on for a while throughout this race.
Jonathan Homebreak down
Man, look at that car. That looks like a car that's been racing at Darlington.
there. Yeah.
That joke is only funny to us, though. Definitely not him.
No.
As first tires and fuel, Tom Sears down pit road as well. And these drivers up front might be the only ones without damage.
There's not many.
Cody Pennell, Alex Simkowski, I don't think they really have damage. Donald Ray, I don't know if he has damage since he's used quick repair. Roberts, I'm sure about that car. I imagine most of these cars that have at least some scrapes on them. Check out this 28 car.
Yeah, that's the cleanest car on track.
No scrapes on the right front, scrapes on the right rear. Check out the left front, which the left side's going to be clean because he hasn't wrecked. The only really way you screw up that left side is if you wreck and hit the inside wall. So
Nicholas Pressey got out of shape on the front stretch, or the front stretch there. Didn't hit anything, gathered it up. He was battling with the 30 car, Daniel Roberts. Took a look inside of him, didn't gain anything, got behind him, and then all of a sudden it snapped left on him. And he caught it up and got back out and did not lose a position.
all right, well, we got 34 laps left, 8 cars on the lead lap, 8 cars left to pit under green here. Caution could always come out. When our top of the top 8, we'll see which driver decides to pit first. When Jonathan Homebrink is still down pit road. Tom Sears is out of pit road. He's done his pit stop along with Ken Bellamy. And speaking of Ken Bellamy, he's about to catch up to Cody Pennell and get one of his laps back. Ooh.
So next time by, Cody Pennell will be on his 33rd lap with 33 to go.
How much faster that 37 car is into
yeah.
turn 1. Cody Pennell's going to brake to get away from him. But
Yeah. Cody got on the comms and said, go on inside there, Ken.
yeah. And I mean,
Ain't no need to be racing a lap down car when you're in the lead and you've got a 12-second lead.
I've said it a lot tonight, but man, just what a race from Cody Pennell so far. It's so tough to do what he's doing, and he is just absolutely dominant right now. Now 12 seconds ahead of Alex Simkowski. Crazy what he's doing right now. Ryan Pennell, family member, just made a pass on Daniel Roberts for 5th. So Ryan, I'd mentioned he was in, I believe, 7th or so and was still having a nice race up to the top 5.
Oh, the 30 car of Daniel Roberts was going to come down pit road and missed it. Really bad.
He is about to close to going a lap down now because of that, but nope, Cody Pennell down pit road with 31 to go. Donald Ray stays out, but Alex Simkowski doesn't. He follows Cody Pennell down pit road, and gotta believe some of these drivers they are staying out. Donald Ray, Nicholas Pressey, Ryan Pennell, gotta do something different here. So I think they're gonna run out their fuel until they just can't go anymore. Hope they catch caution.
Yeah, at this point, that's all.
Donald Ray doesn't.
Do.
I think he's gonna miss pit road. He gets down. Okay, he's good. He gets down to pit road. And that is just such a scary pit entrance.
That's what you was talking about. That's a rough ride getting down there.
Nicholas Pressey stays out. Michael Swink does as well. So Donald Ray and Ryan Pennell do not stay out, but I do think we're going to see at least a couple of drivers run out this fuel as much as they can. But not much left fuel for them.
Got one driver who is not, well, okay.
3
Nicholas
right now.
Presty, your leader. Yeah. I had forgotten to look down.
You're good. Michael Swink and Dustin Painter have stayed out with Nicholas Pressey. Back though.
Yeah, he's been momentary blinking a little bit here and there, but he hasn't been disappearing for a long time, which can get scary if you're behind a driver like that.
So once these 3 drivers decide to pit and it cycles through, Cody Pinnell will take the lead back.
I'm anxious to see here. Grid hasn't updated on whether Cody Pinnell is still on the lead lap or not. Yes, he is.
I think Alex Simkowski may have sped because he's back down pit road.
Yeah. He had a 54-second pit stop.
Oh, okay. Oh, so yeah, I think he did speed. 40, because
Yeah,
it's about 14
40-second
seconds. 14 seconds for a pit stop and a 40-second.
Yep.
I mean, we talked about it. Cody Pinnell had to make a mistake, and Alex Simkowski had to have a good pit stop, and it went the other way. That's going to further the lead for Cody Pinnell once he gets back. He's currently 21 seconds behind Nicholas Pressey, who Michael Swink, and Dustin Painter are doing exactly what I thought they would, and that's stay out until they can't run any more on fuel.
Yeah. Look for caution. Cody Pinnell got a little out of shape going through 4. That's about as messed up as I've seen his car get. It wasn't terrible, but the right rear hung out a little bit.
I think that was... This track, although it's shaped differently, still can look very alike when you're watching like this in the turns.
Yeah, you don't realize it till you get on track that, wait a minute, that's not the same as the last corner.
Dustin Painter down pit road, so 2 now left out there on track, and there's the 99 of Alex Simkowski. Yeah, like we mentioned, he got that speeding penalty, and well, he's actually in danger of going another lap down once, or he's already taking another
2 laps down right now.
Yeah, once Cody Pinnell becomes the leader.
If he can stay in front of Cody, he'll only be 2 laps, I imagine, but staying in front of Cody.
Oh, he slips up right in front of Cody and hits him. Oh, no. Cody Pinnell gets into the wall a good amount now. Oh, man. That's the 30 of Daniel Roberts. He's at least a lap or 2. The only good thing for Cody Pinnell after that damage is the fact that he has such a big lead over other drivers. But how much is that damage going to affect him now?
He's 13 seconds over Tom Sears at the moment.
Now 11.
Currently running in 3rd, but okay, no 11.
Oh, I'm just, like, I'm not trying to.
Mine's a little slow to update.
Nicholas Pressey down pit road, so that leaves Michael Swink out there alone on this strategy.
Hey, these guys gave it a shot. That's all you could do in the position you were in. Run it out. See, and we almost got a caution, and it was almost a leader. So it almost played into their hands, but sometimes it doesn't.
Simkowski had a great second place run going. Now, he's still going to finish inside the top 10, but not where he wanted to finish.
Well, yeah, he's 10th alone. Yeah, on that 2 lap down. So, yeah.
And now we await to see when Michael Swink possibly go down pit road. And oh, he hits the wall. Is he going to be the caution? Nope, he keeps it together. It only works out if you're not the caution.
Yeah.
He's only 3 seconds ahead of Cody Pinnell now, so he's running about 2 seconds slower laps. Sorry, 2 seconds slower a lap, Cody Pinnell. So maybe he leads this lap as well, but no more than that if he stays in the lead.
This will be his 46th lap on this field lap. So.
Oh, he's coming down to pit road, so he won't lead this lap.
Okay.
Cody Pinnell back to the point. So he's no longer led every lap, but he's still going to lead the most.
And Michael Sweet get the commitment goal.
That's unfortunate. Yep, that's another thing. You got to get down to get into the pit road, and you got to avoid that pit cone. Cody Pennell, with 20 laps to go, finally back to the lead after everything is cycled through. No caution in stage 3 yet. Exactly what he wanted to see with how fast he's been.
Well, we did make a comment on how clean his car was, so
Alex
I think
Simkowski
now
was like, hey.
everybody has damage.
Alex Simkowski is like, hey, you cannot leave this racetrack with a... I'm joking.
Yeah, he came over comms right after.
Oh, yeah, you know he
Mentioned
absolutely...
that he apologized and mentioned that he didn't see him coming until he was right up on him. So, yeah,
Well,
that was definitely not intentional.
With the green flag pit cycle, Tom Sears up to second and Donald Ray third.
Wow.
Ken Bellamy fourth and Daniel Roberts up to... So Tom Sears setting himself up for a top 3 finish. Right now sitting in second.
Well, with the night he's had, second place to Cody Pennell tonight, that'd be a good finish.
Absolutely.
He is 8 laps older tires than Donald Ray, so maybe that difference gets them into a battle. But although
He is running about a second slower,
Yeah.
at least the last lap.
so Donald Ray does have a chance to get up there and get second.
I think you will. Because it was just about 3 seconds between Tom Sears and Donald Ray. Now 1.7. I agree with you. I think they're going to be... I don't even know if it'll be that much of a battle, to be honest with you. I think it'll be more of a... I think it'll be...
Break the wall.
Yeah, I saw. I think it'll be more of Donald Ray passing by and saying hello and then saying...
Yeah.
But if Donald Ray does pass him, Tom Sears still has about 9.5 seconds on Ken Bellamy, so I think he'll be safe for a top 3. But, yeah, I can't see him holding on a second.
His night's gone, that'd be a decent night. I know he had to win last week, coming off a couple of bad races. Kind of hoping to put together a better show here tonight, but he's actually, for the night he's had, this is a decent running spot at this point of the race.
There goes Donald Ray for second position. See if he clears out of the turn. Does. Donald Ray up to the second position down the front stretch. Tom Sears now just has to hold on. 9.7 seconds ahead of Ken Bellamy, and I believe maybe they're on pretty close pit strategies. They're running about the same lap time.
Yeah, Ken Bellamy's on older tires. Daniel Roberts, maybe keep an eye on him. He's on same pit strategy as Cody Pennell, so he's got pressure tires with Ken Bellamy and Tom Sears. And Nicholas Presley running in 6th, but he's a lap down. So
There's Cody Pennell working on actually putting Daniel Roberts a lap down.
yeah, I just noticed that.
I just noticed that too when I clicked over to him. 13 laps to go for Cody Pennell. 4 cars on the lead lap, but Ken Bellamy very close to going a lap down right now. Pull up your track map.
Well, what did I say about him lapping the field? He's getting pretty darn close.
There's Ken Bellamy in the 37 on your track map, right behind the lit up 28 that you see highlighted there through 1 and 2. And now you can see him on track there. Gets out of the way. Good move from him. Gonna cost him 4th.
Two more drivers, and he'll have the field lapped.
9 seconds behind Tom Sears and about 12 seconds behind Donald Ray. See?
He's running about a half a second. So, maybe not enough.
I think having 4th on back lapped is a good enough feat.
Well, yeah.
I mean, we saw at Dirt Bristol when Trey Kirk lapped literally the entire field.
The
Felt
entire-
kind of bad for everybody.
First time I ever interviewed second place on a lap down. 10 to go.
Yeah, this race, I mean, this race kind of lines up with Dirt Bristol it was a really tough racetrack, and maybe, I don't want to say you expected the worst, but you know in the back of your mind that it could go really badly, but this race has gone pretty smoothly.
And Dirt Bristol wasn't as bad as one would have thought going into it. There was some good racing there. Just Trey Kirk, just like Cody Pennell tonight. That was Trey Kirk's track. He had the line. He got around there like he was on a rocket. The same as Cody Pennell has done tonight. So it isn't that there's been bad racing. It's just how good Cody's been tonight.
9 laps to go, 18 seconds ahead of second place Donald Ray. That's ridiculous right there.
Yeah, a little.
As Nicholas Pressey passes Daniel Roberts for 4th. Still racing going on for positions, even if they're a lap down.
That McDonald's scheme here, it's is that Bill Elliott's scheme there?
Sure, I feel like I've seen it before, but
Not sure either.
try to get that information. For the end of this one. Anyway.
I'm looking at lap times. I think Cody Pennell might have put it in cruise control. He's in a really good place on the track.
Yep, Bill Elliott.
Oh, see. My brain does work sometimes. He's in a really good place right now where he's got Pressey catching up with him, but nobody battling in front of him. Pressey's not going to come up here and press the issue, and if he does, he'll just let him go. He could almost cruise to the end of this race.
Well, if anyone's going to press the issue, it's Nicholas Presley. Not because of who he is, just because of his last name.
Pressey. Not Pressey.
Pressey, you know what I meant.
Yeah, pressing. Yeah, I got it. No pun intended, right?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, definitely no pun intended.
No pun intended.
Got 5 laps to go here at Darlington Raceway. Cody Pennell, I don't even need to say it anymore, just absolute domination throughout this entire race.
That guy.
Just looks to lock it up now. Did have a clean car until a little while ago, but still, nonetheless, 16.8 seconds ahead of Donald Ray in second. And Tom Sears has held on nicely to third, but Nicholas Pressey 5 seconds back with 4 laps to go, running about a second faster. See, with 4.7 second gap if Pressey's able to make that up. But, oh, he had a problem out of 4, so that's going to make it even tougher.
You gotta wonder. We talked a lot about what Trey Kirk had to do, what Jeremy Peralt had to do to try to overtake Cody Pennell, and Cody might have been sitting back there listening, going, "Wait a minute, I got this."
Yeah, I mean, Cody knew what he needed to do coming into tonight. He actually talked to me after last week's race about what these other drivers needed to do to beat him, so he knew what needed to happen, and he guarded against that. And well, how did he do that? The best way possible, by winning most stages so far, leading the most laps, and just lock up the entire race in about a lap and a half. I don't know if they're on the back stretch.
Yeah, they're on the back. Coming to the white.
Just needs to collect that white flag. Don't have to have a green and white checkered. Down the front stretch, white flag is out here at Darlington Raceway for the final race of this 10-week season here. ARCS Monday Night Lightning Cup cars is Cody Pennell looking to lock up his 4th victory of the season, and most importantly, that being the last race, which needed to be not perfect, but good to win the championship, and he has been perfect. Through 3 and 4 for the final time, Cody Pennell wins the race and the championship as he crosses the start-finish line. What a race from that 28 machine.
Wow, that was an impressive showing there. That is a race worthy of a series champion.
Donald Ray just coming out of turn 4, collecting the checkered, and here's Tom Sears just now going into turn 3 and 4. And he is going to hold on to 3rd as Nicholas Pressey 1.4 seconds back from him in 4th as he crosses the start-finish line. There's Nicholas. That 28 machine rocking that Davey Allison paint scheme all the way to victory lane, collecting that trophy. Not sure if he's going to win anything for the championship, money or anything, but even if he doesn't, still a proud moment to win a championship when you have to be consistent through 10 weeks.
Oh yeah, yeah. He doesn't care right now. He's won. He's won the race. He won everything tonight, and taking home the series championship to top off the cake. It's got to be a fun night for him.
I think the interview is going to be a little less chaotic than the other person that Cup champion.
Yeah. Yeah. Probably a lot. If you're watching tonight there, Mr. Warren, congratulations on that one.
We always love your interview. Like he might be. He knows there's no hate towards him.
This is awesome for our last race with this series of them moving on to an in-house broadcast league. We wish them well, and I think they put on some great races.
Well, usually I talk to the champion last, but he's already in here, so we're not going to delay it. We're going to talk to the Cody Pennell. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, buddy.
Dang, man. I mean, we talked about how you just needed to defend against Trey Kirk and Jeremy Brault, keep them from winning stages or leading the most laps, and you'd be okay. But you went out there and just led almost everything and won everything.
Yeah, I knew that the point situation was going to be tight coming into this race, so I logged a lot of laps here this week and just practiced as much as I could because all it took was for me to have one bad race and Trey come out here and lead every lap, and I'd lose the championship. So yeah, really happy with the way the race played out. There in turn 2, when the car got tight, I could just barely clip the apron and it would rotate the car perfectly. So yeah, really happy with the way this race played out. I know it probably wasn't the most entertaining race to watch, but I'm happy that these guys were able to keep it clean for the most part, and we could get some good green flag runs in.
No, trust me, I'll say that was a very entertaining race, and some people may say, oh, that was boring, but when you actually watch racing, week to week, and how tough Darlington is, to watch you guys run that track as successfully as you did was really impressive. So congrats on the championship and a really great race. I'll send it over.
Hey, this is Sam. So I guess the only question we have all night, the only time it ever got a little interesting for you there, was with Pressey there. And I know that wasn't on purpose, and I heard the apologies coming through. But
I think you meant
did your heart jump?
Yeah. Zimkowski, he got in the wall there a little bit in front of me.
Yeah.
I know it wasn't intentional. Definitely, it made me clench up a little bit because I thought when he hooked me in the right rear, that was it. Luckily, the tension was kind of down at that point because Trey and Jeremy both had a pretty bad night. So I knew I just had to keep it clean and finish the race. But yeah, that was definitely the most tenseful part of the night.
Was there any? It looked like a couple of times you might have gotten a hair loose in turns. Were there any clinching moments tonight, or was it as I hate to say easy because this track isn't easy, but you made it look easy. Was there any clinching moments that we might have missed?
I'll tell you more so than when I was loose. When I would get tight coming off of turn two, that wall comes up so quick that you're going so fast through there. You really don't have time to react. If you get tight, you're just gonna pancake it. So a couple times I got tight too before I was running down on the apron, and that was really probably the scariest moments of the race for me.
Well, it was a really impressive showing tonight, and congratulations on the win, the championship. And do you have any shout outs for us?
Yeah, I do. First and foremost, I want to shout out my beautiful wife for putting up with this crazy hobby of mine. She's always supporting me and allowing me to do this. And ARCS, Ryan Pinnell, Elliot Longnecker, Donald Ray, Thomas Andrews, all the guys, Terry Gabbard, all the guys that help us put this on. And at the beginning of the year, we kind of questioned a few times, if we were doing the right thing. Were we ready for this kind of league? And, along the way, we patched things up and worked together to make the racing better. And, I think you saw it tonight. The product that we've been able to achieve is just speaks for everybody's dedication to this series. So I'm really proud of everybody and ready to get to work on season two.
Well, congratulations, and we wish you luck and talk to you again sometime.
I appreciate it, guys.
Great championship, great season.
Thank you.
Right, that was race winner and season winner, Cody Pinnell. And now we're going to move on to Donald Ray, who's able to pull off a second place tonight. Donald, did Zach and Sam at the booth, you got a copy?
I got you, buddy.
Hey, buddy, great race tonight, and you were able to fight back from some early trouble to finish where you started. Take us through it.
Yeah, finishing where I started was definitely not what I expected, especially after that second restart where got a little gas happy and got it sideways in front of the field. Went to the back, ended up wasting my fast repair, and after that I did get the wall a few times. I promise you, there's a lot of stripes out there for me, but I finished the race with still probably about 45 seconds of damage to repair, but I just knew to slow it down because of the damage, and it just turned out to be faster that way. But yeah, it was definitely a lot of fun being able to work my way back up from last through the field, and eventually ended up second.
Well, hey, this is Sam. Donald, I pretty much answered most of my questions. You had a rough night tonight to come back to finish second. Pretty awesome, especially the way Cody Pinnell run tonight. I'm not sure anybody had anything for him, but to get through this field of strong competitors, and that race car looked a little messed up at the end there. Uh, did you have a point during the race where you thought, well, this is over, I'm not going to get a good finish tonight, or did you just have confidence that you were going to get back up there?
Yeah, after I can't remember who it was. Somebody got in the wall in front of me, and well, there was a few cars in front of me, and it wrecked, and then I T-boned him, and was able to fix part of the damage. But at that point, I was thinking that top 15 was going to be good. But no, to my surprise, I was able to fix enough damage and just be a little more patient, a little smoother, a little slower, and like I said, it just ended up being faster in the long run.
Well, I got to say, winning's always better, but the night you had tonight to come back out of there with a second place finish was pretty awesome. You got any shout outs for us?
Yeah, I mean, Cody's been the man all year. Second place tonight really felt like a win for me. But no, this whole series, man, it's amazing. Uh, anybody out there that wants to join, hit us up. We're recruiting for the Truck Series and maybe an Xfinity Series in 2022. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's a lot of great guys in here. So really, shout outs to the league.
All right. Well, congratulations again on the podium finish, and we wish you luck in the future. Thank you.
All right, guys. Thank you for what you do.
Appreciate it, man. Right, and finally, Tom Sears, our third place finisher tonight. Tom, it's Zach and Sam. Got a copy?
Copy.
Hey, man, well, we talked after last week when you won at Kansas that you had finally, gotten over the hill of tough races, and you back it up, ending the season with a third place finish. So, first of all, great race, man. Take us through how it went.
Yeah, first off, I want to say congratulations to Cody. on the championship. Man, he's just on a whole nother level tonight, and the season itself, he was way out there. And the other guys had some rough goings too. For me, I had some problems as well, and I was able to. I had damage early. I went the whole race with no arrow, pretty much, and kind of hung around there, barely in the top 10. And then I used my fast repair with like 40 to go. I finally used my fast repair, split the stage, and was able to get some good track position, and somehow came away with third. I didn't really run in third all night, so that was just a fortunate ending for me. But these guys are great. A lot of great racing out there. Obviously, we had some mishaps, but a lot of great racing. This is a great league, and I cannot wait to see how far we go with iRacing.
Well, hey, Tom, that was a lot better last week, huh? did
Yeah,
you think?
yeah.
Did you think somewhere in this race you were looking at another Richmond because you were up, you were down, you were up, you were battling, and after those green flag pit stops, I looked up and I went, "Hey, Tom's in third." Was that kind of your reaction too?
Yeah, I was kind of surprised with how things shook out really on that green flag pit stop. I pit a little bit early, and my tires definitely were down at the end. Jacket just went right by me. I couldn't even fight him. And yeah, I'm surprised it shook out that way, but I just kept battling all night and just trying to push the limits without completely destroying the car.
Well, you did an awesome job, and wish you good luck in the future. You got any shout outs for us tonight?
I want to shout out my amazing girlfriend for letting me do all this racing all the time. Love you. And also all the ARCS guys. We all put this together. A lot of people work on all this and getting all the rules down and dates, times, practice, everything we do. Shout out to all you guys. Um, I just hope to keep it going. This is going good, building a lot, and really proud to race with all these guys.
Well, thank you very much. Congratulations on the podium finish tonight, and I'm sure we'll talk to you in the future.
Very soon.
Thanks for your broadcast.
Thank you, welcome.
Right, that was third place finisher here tonight. The final race of Cup Series season. Well, other than obviously the hiccup at Martinsville, fantastic season.
Yeah, yeah. Other than that, these guys put on a great show. And little update, I was wrong. Trey Kirk does finish second with Jeremy Brault in third for the season points. So Trey had that little hiccup tonight, but still managed to hold on to second. There's a lot of good drivers in this league. Cody Pennell was the class of the field tonight, but we saw last week that he's beatable. Jeremy Brault, Trey Kirk, great, all these drivers. Any one of them could win a race out here, and they put on a great show, and it was fun to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, shout out to Cody Pennell, 4 wins on the season and lock up the championship. Trey Kirk, Jeremy Brault got 2 wins themselves. Jason Tom Sears were the other 2 to grab a single victory. And yeah, shout out to Cody for winning the championship, but shout out to everybody in the series for making it what it was and putting on the show they did back at Richmond after Martinsville, and where it could have gone bad 2 weeks in a row, but instead on a great show. I looked at the results of Talladega since we weren't able to broadcast that, and they had a great there on 5 caution. Talladega 94, fantastic. Yeah, just great season all around. I appreciate you joining me for it, especially kind of mid-season for the middle. That helped out a lot. And yeah, shout out to the viewers who watched these races and listened to and put up with me and my dad. So you got anything else?
No, kind of went by really quick. Can't believe it's over. I wish them luck in the future with their own in-house broadcast. And for those of you that are watching and might want to catch us on other nights, Zach does 6 nights a week. check out Rebels Racing Network on YouTube and Facebook and see where we're at.
Yeah, so thank you for tuning in, not only tonight, but all season long. And yeah, if it's moving else, thanks for joining. And thanks to Elliot for bringing us along to broadcast this season. I appreciate it. Who knows? Maybe I'll even try to sneak into this. We'll see. I'll talk to Elliot, but yeah, shout out to him. And again, one last shout out to you, because once Tanner wasn't able to broadcast, if didn't, it'd have been tough doing these races.
I have a lot of fun broadcasting with you. You're the brains of this family when it comes to the broadcasting. So just the broadcasting, and I'm the comedic effect. So yeah, it's a lot of fun hanging out and calling races. So
All right. Well,
yeah.
We're going to wrap it up here from Darlington Raceway. Congrats to Cody Pinnell for the championship, and thank you guys for tuning in. It's been Zach and Sam Wetstein from Rebels Racing Network. Have a good night.